Welcome to the journey of self. This is your coach, Mehnaz Amjad. In this series, we will be embarking on a journey together with an intention to help you take one step closer to your best self. This series is designed to help you overcome obstacles that are holding you back from living your best life. Let's get started. Our today's title is A Technique for Mental Health and Well-Being. In our session today, I would like to teach you a technique which I had been practicing myself, especially at times when I have multiple thoughts racing in my head and I begin to lose focus. I struggle to find peace in my mind and in my heart, and I also struggle to really focus on one thing at a time. I feel overwhelmed with these constant flux of thoughts racing in and out of my mind. While this technique has helped me a great deal, I thought would like to share this with my audience. But before we learn this technique, I would also like to spend few minutes with you, giving you a bit of a background on how this technique actually works in the background. And why I give you this is that it will help you not only understand what typically happens when we are experiencing multiple thoughts at one single time, what happens when we find it difficult to focus or we feel a bit overwhelmed with too much going on at the same time, and also a bit confused. How exactly does our brain work in such a scenario? And don't worry, I would not bore you with any technical stuff. Instead, I have made it as simple as possible because my intention is that while we practice a particular technique, it's also essential for us to understand how these thoughts, these multiple thoughts, impact our brain, our mind, and our overall health and well-being. So the three key points you need to understand before we practice this technique is that every time we have a thought, there's a chemical release in our brain. And this happens for both a positive thought and a negative thought. Now you must be wondering, how can a brain make out that a thought is positive or negative? Now that's part of the miraculous way our brains work. It's one of the most gifted ability this organ in our head has, which has the ability to recognize the positive from the negative. So as a result, when we have a positive thought, what is often observed is that a chemical by name serotonin, which is also called the happy chemical, is released, and it influx us, our nervous system, with positivity, a good energy. While on the contrary, a negative thought may release a harmful chemical, which is very popularly known as cortisol. It's also a stress hormone, which prepares our body to deal with an upcoming danger or stress. Having a lot of cortisol, which will get released if we are constantly in a state of worry and stress, may actually lead to mental illnesses or any other that can get developed. So if you have ever experienced, while you're watching a movie, or if you've come across a scene from your favorite web series, something traumatic that you could immediately relate to it, and while watching it, it automatically make you recall certain memories that triggers an influx of thoughts, negative thoughts, trauma, and you start to feel these negative emotions of panic, worry, despair, or grief. Similarly, on the other end, if you are enjoying a movie, a drama, or even live personally experiencing a very, very positive experience. You're enjoying yourself with your friends or with your partner, with your family. You're having a very good time. Or going back with the same example, you come across a particular scene in a movie or drama that fills your heart with joy, laughter, or it kind of triggers those best memories. Your mind is filled with all the happy chemicals. Now, based on the same principle is the technique that we're going to learn today. This little bit of background information I shared with you is to just help you become a little bit more aware of how your mind works, specific to thoughts, both negative and positive. So friends, next time, if you ever come across with your own self feeling agitated, overwhelmed, worried, too many thoughts going on in your head, or even you find it difficult to fall asleep, try this method. In this technique, what you need to do is recall any recent incident of the past, and you have to pick a positive one. This incident of the past or any experience that you have enjoyed the most. If you don't have any of the recent past, you can also pick up something from your young years, from your college days or your childhood memories that you cherish the most. It could be an outing, a picnic, a place you visited with your friends, you had the best time of your life. And even if you still feel you don't have any such, don't worry. You can create your own imaginative place. We have the gift of imagination, so you can create your own imaginative place as you always may wanted to go visit or be there, and fill it with everything that you always wanted to do in it and enjoy. As an example, let me share with you this particular activity that I did with my coach. And let me share my imaginary world with you today so that you get a little bit of an idea of how you could use it. So, this imaginary world that I created was actually based on my visit to Kerala, Cochin, many years ago. This was a family visit, and it was one of the best places I've been to and had the best time in my life. We had a fortnightly stay at various places in Kerala. Cochin was the longest stay that I had. And in this visit, the itinerary also included visit to various islands in and around Cochin. And during our visit, out of the 15-20 day stay that I had there, what I really enjoyed besides the seafood was a visit to a lighthouse, which was near the sea. And it has a small house. One of the person we knew, he kind of arranged for us to stay in there. It was very, very close by to the lighthouse, and it was around evening, a full moon, the tide was high, a bit of chill in the air, the waves hitting the shore, while we could feel the droplets of water all over us due to the high tides. And with that, a sumptuous dinner, the overnight stay, the excellent food, and the time I had spent with my family was one of the best experiences of my life, which I cherish to this day. So when in my present day, when I really, really feel I need to focus and recenter back or put my mind to rest and get rid of the too many thoughts which are hijacking my mind, I use this technique. I go back to the same time that I was in Cochin, to that same event, and recall every minute experience, the one that I enjoyed, right from the food to the environment to my surroundings and the people with me. And as I recall and savor every moment, here I enter into my world of imagination and stay in there for some time, which automatically brings my brain into the focus mode, because now I'm not struggling with the too many thoughts and of future, of past, of various things, which most of it are not even facts but just baseless thoughts. Rather, I'm focused on an experience that I had, and I'm reliving it once again. I'm savoring it. I'm kind of recalling it. And even though the concept of mindfulness is very old and traditional, there's been a time that most of us will not been practicing it. However, if even for you, if you really feel you do not have any such experiences, try to be more present in the moment and try to enjoy and savor. If in case you're having a good time at some place, try to enjoy every moment of it, so that you could use this technique in the future anytime you feel completely lost, lacking in focus. Reliving good experiences, reliving good memories actually brings our brain back to the focus mode. This is a very simple technique, but very, very powerful. Here we are using our imagination and recentering our focus, which then help us actually not just relieve all the good positive chemicals in our brain, it avoids us to get into the web of negativity, worry thinking, or overthinking. And it also saves us from being heedless. It gets you back to the focus and to the center. And reliving this for some time, when again you open up your eyes, you will find that you're much more at ease and peace, both in your head and in your heart. And again, ready and geared up to face the world again. So try it. The call to action for you, having learned this technique, is recall the best, most cherished memories from your past and relive them again through your imagination anytime you feel overwhelmed with your current state of mind. This is another kind of meditation which really helps you recenter and focus. I hope you'll enjoy it as much as I do, even till today. Thank you for your time, and I'll talk to you soon.